Good morning, friends. I actually thought I would share a card with you, Brenda, here at My Pastor's Wife Designs. This is me at My Pastor's Wife Designs, and I wanted to share a card I did with you. I got up this morning and realized that I needed a card. Now, yes, I have cards in my stash, but I needed a card for something specific. And I thought, well, let's whip one out really quick. And I wanted to see if you could see, if you see how quick a card can come together. And so I had some paper that I thought might be fun. I am pulling this out of one of the free packs that we get through the end of this month, actually, with Celebration. And I believe it's called Field and Flowers, something like that. I don't know where my pamphlet is. Let me grab the packet. It is called Flower and Field, and these are some of the colors and papers that you can get in this pack. And you can see I've used it, but I thought I would pull out something a little different today. And this side has got the polka dot kind of, and then this has got the floral with the just fun little flowers. But I realized, like I said, that I needed a card, so I thought, well, why not just hop on and show you how sometimes we can just really quickly grab and put together a card, because sometimes we need that, we need that quickly, and we don't have time. Sorry, I don't know what just happened there. I got really distracted. So I actually just need one card, but I'm going to make two because why not, right? So I have a piece of Just Jade here, 8.5 by 11. I'm going to take it and score it at 4 1/4 with my score blade on my trimmer. Then I'm just going to flip this around, line it up at 5.5. Give it a cut, 1 score, 1 cut, 2 cards. I love that. I can do it that quickly. Then I'm going to go ahead and just get my designer series paper here. I'm going to cut it at 4 inches. So I'm going to slide this in and cut it at 4. Get that out of my way. And then I'm going to cut it again. I'm going to cut it at 5 1/4. And the second one at 5 1/4. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and make 2 cards. I might as well. I'm going to save this piece because I can always use it for something else. But I thought, well, if I'm going to make 2 cards, why not give you 2 options? I think, well, the first thing I'm going to do is, okay, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to set my trimmer aside for just a moment. I'm going to grab my trusty Stampin' Seal, and like I said, I'm doing this on the fly this morning, so I really kind of just didn't even get my tools out. I'm just like, we're just going to play this by ear this morning. So I got my bone folder out here, and mine is fun. It's from the Creative 8 team. It was a gift for attending a function, I believe, when we went to Orlando. All right. You see how those bone folders just give such a nice crisp fold, which is awesome. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mount my paper, but you notice it's two-sided, obviously. Sometimes it's really hard to decide which side we're going to cover up. Today, I'm not going to have to decide because I'm going to cover each side up. I'm going to do one and then the other. I do not get stingy with my Stampin' Seal because I'm going to be mailing these cards, and you know, the climate can change a lot, and I just don't want to put the work in the card and then have it fall apart in the mail. We're going to do this on the opposite side for this one. You know what I think could be really fun here as I'm thinking about this? One could even be a masculine card if I so desired. All right. And then I have some pre-cut white, just white cardstock. It's already pre-cut. And it is at 4 inches by 2.5. I like to have a couple of these just on my desk because then if I'm going to be doing some stamping, I don't have to think those through. So while I've got that out, I'm going to go ahead. I've got a piece of petal pink, and because that's the color I think I want to use on this one, I cut that out. And this, what I tell you, is 4 by 2.5. So I'm going to cut this at 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. I'm going to do the same thing with a scrap of just jade that I have out here. I'm going to use this as a layering piece, so I'm going to do this at, that's crooked, probably use it for something. So I'm going to go 2 3/4. My brain kind of stopped mathing for a minute. It's probably because I haven't had any coffee or any food yet this morning. I just had this idea and I thought, oh, I'm going to jump on this. While I'm at it, because that is a darker cardstock, I have a piece of white sitting here. I just seen that and realized I want to do that. I'm going to cut this piece of white at 4 by 5 1/4. I'm going to do that twice because this will be the inside of my card. You notice I flip that around. I always like to have the factory edge on one edge. It just, I don't know, it's just a personal preference. All right, I have those. I'm not gonna mount those yet because if I decide to stamp them and mess something up, then I've got problems. Okay, I think I'm done with my trimmer, so I'm gonna set that aside, or actually put it away. And I am using, because they were on my desk for no other reason, these are the stamp sets I'm using. I've been using them for thank you cards. I'm going to use this Pretty Perennials that's available in our new spring mini. And then Happy Thoughts, which is one of my favorite new sentiment stamps. We can never get enough sentiments, right? So I think I'm going to use the little things you do so well and so often make a big difference to so many people. I think that is a nice sentiment. And gosh, everybody just needs some encouragement sometimes, right? And then I'm going to use some stuff out of the Pretty Perennials. And I think, what do I want to do? I could do something big. Yeah, I'm going to do something big just because these are little. Yep. All right, so I've actually got the big one mounted because I've been using it. And then I think I want to go ahead and pull out the smaller one. Be careful when you pull those out. I had an incident the other day. I decided, I just got really carried away. Actually, I didn't decide anything. I got super carried away and literally tore my stamp in half. Yep. Tore it in half. Great. Okay, colors we're using today: Tuxedo Black, Just Jade, and Petal Pink. I could use Blushing Bride too, but I think I want to use Petal Pink. Maybe I don't. Switching it up. I'm going to use Petal Pink because that's the paper I'm using. All right, so let's see, what could we do with this? Because my sentiment is a long sentiment, I am going to turn this way. And I'm actually going to get out my foam mat here, just because with photopolymer stamps you get a little bit nicer image if you have this cushion under it. So I'm going to stamp this in the Petal Pink, and you've seen me just tapping it. Don't press it down like you're doing CPR. Just give it a little tap tap. I also want just a scrap piece of paper here so I don't get it all over my mat, because then I'll smear it and then I'll be mad. And well, mad, that's probably overreach, but you know. going to stamp off the edge of that just for a little difference. You see I just came off the edge a little bit, and I did that on purpose. And then I'm just going to set that aside. I think I'm happy with that. Then I'm going to use my little flower, or as my little granddaughter used to say, or my niece, she used to say flowler. Yeah, Bren, are you stamping the are you planting the flowers? And let's see, I'm going to do 1, 2, let's do one more just off the edge here. Oh, you know what? And let's do one down here in the corner. All right, we've got that. And, oh, do we want some leaves, Brenda? Do we want a leaf? Maybe we want a leaf. Yes, we're going to do leaves. All these decisions this morning. Maybe I shouldn't stamp this early in the morning. My decision-making process is pretty questionable at best. I'm going to go ahead and close my petal pink because I will have my arm in it, and that could go bad. And you know, I think, now that I think about it, nope, I'm not going to pull in another color. I am just going to use the 3 colors I got. I want to make this easy for you guys to duplicate and easy for me. So I do want to put some leaves in, and I've never used this stamp before, so I'm going to just stamp off once to make sure it stamps nice. Ooh, I don't want them that dark. So I'm going to stamp off on my little scrap paper, and I think I'm just going to stick some leaves there. Kind of make it random. It doesn't have to be, you know, perfect, because I don't think that's the intention of this stamp set. So I'm just going to come off the edge there. And maybe right there. Let's do one more. I really like this Just Jade color. You know what, it's okay if they overlap. That's the whole idea of the watercolor look. Okay, now I'm just going to set that little guy aside for a moment. You know what, and I said we were making 2 cards, didn't I? Well, let's finish this one first. I want to put a center in my flower. What do I want to do? All right, we have a little tiny one, which don't want to lose. That would be not good. All right, so I've got this little tiny guy, and then I'm just going to actually just mount. So I've got the bigger one right here, as you can see, and I've got the little one right there. And I'm going to get my black, and I just broke my own rule about closing ink pads. I'm bound to determine to drag my arm through it, and I've got this little, well, I'm going to use the big one first. I've got this big one, and I'm going to ink it up really good, and I don't think I've used this one yet either, so I'm going to make just, I always try to make sure it stamps off nice. And I'm going to just, ooh. It's hard to stamp over something when you're trying to show it. So I'm just going to pull this off and set it on another stamp until I can clean it. And then I'm going to go ahead, oops, and break my other own rule of testing it first. Sometimes it's always a good idea to give them a little test just to make sure they stamp nicely. And just off the edge. Oh, this is looking cute. I am liking this. I've got my ink out still, so I'm going to go ahead, just pull this towards, well, but I want you to see it, so I'm really liking this. Okay, so next I've got the little things you do so well, and I am just going to ink this up really well, and I want to make sure that it's all inked, so I will look at the side, and I'm actually going to, I've not used this one yet either, so I'm going to stamp it over here for 2 reasons. I'm going to stamp it on my grid paper because A, I want to see how it lines up across, just in case it's not quite straight, and I don't want to have done all that work and then have it be a little bit crookedy. That would be bad for business. Again, I always double check to make sure everybody's inked up well, especially if I'm not using my Stamparatus. I'm going to pull this towards me just a little bit so that I get a better look, and I am going to just, pardon my head for a moment. Let's hope this is straight, because I'm not angled the way I normally am. All right, and I'm going to give this a nice press, and you notice I'm not rocking it, I'm not doing anything, but I am giving it a good press, and I'm just going to hold it here for just a second. And what that does is that allows the paper to pull the ink off the page, or I mean off the stamp, and that makes such a big difference as opposed to doing it really quickly. And there we have our first little card front piece. All right, so I'm going to close the black for a moment. Now, I said I would like to try to make this one like a little bit more masculine if I could, and just different. With same set, we're doing 2 cards, but I'm kind of trying to show you that it doesn't take much more time. So this one, I thought, oh, these are like polka dots. I think they're actually like berries or buds, and because I found the stem and I was like, ah, that makes sense. So is what I'm going to do, actually though, is I'm not going to do stems. I think I'm going to try it as a polka dot. So I have this piece here, and I think this time we may just use the one, well, we might, just one color. Yeah, just, let's use the Just Jade. All right, so I've got the Just Jade and this berry that I'm sure is not polka dots, but it is today. And I'm going to randomly stamp, and I'm going to stamp one time, full strength, and one time off. I have a little flaw there, or cat hair, something. Here, I'm going to just clean this up. I should have tested it like I've just been telling you guys. Oh, I think it's a little tiny, like, leftover piece of, I don't know, plastic or something? I think it's fixable. Maybe. What in the world? I'll be darned. Okay, I think I got it. I think it's just like a little, like when they made it, it had a little tiny piece of leftover plastic on it. Yep, I think so. I got it off. All right, so the beauty of paper is it's two-sided, but you know what? I also have a ton of it right now, and I just don't want to do that. Okay, so we're going to try this again. So I'm going to come in. It's better. That is one inky stamp. I'm actually going to just kind of come off the edge of the page here. Then I am not going to re-ink. Oh, how fun is that? And then, I am so bad at random, you guys. I'm like the worst random stamper ever. I was at Connie's house years ago visiting, and she was having stamp club. And I remember, of course I stuck around for it. It was stamp club. I love stamping, right? And one of the cards was you had to random stamp. Now, I shouldn't have done that because I stamped off the edge, but you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm going to leave it how it is. Anyway, the story went that me and another lady got to laughing because we figured out we were terrible random stampers. Everything turned into a pattern. So, all that to say, I'm just not a great random stamper. Okay, I like that. I think that is kind of fun, and I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I'm going to use the 2 colors. And I'm going to, again, get that out of my way, and I'm going to bring back in my black and the same saying, why not? And then you can write whatever you want on the inside of the card, obviously. I mean, I'm not going to tell you what to tell people. Okay, that is inked up well. I'm going to pull this to me just a little bit like I did before. And give this a nice press, again, letting it pull the ink off. There we go. Set that aside, and now I'm going to bring in my 2 pieces of white. Because now I have a plan, just a plan. It's not a big plan. It's just a, let's make it Okay, I almost did that again. I don't want to do that again, but I do want to stamp off because I had taken it off the edge there and I was going to ruin it. That's what I do. Okay, that's the inside of my card, but let's not stop there. Let's grab a couple envelopes while we have our everything out. I think that a card should not be naked. I think I should move the inside. And I'm just going to follow the same theme. You want to give them room to write. And I've heard that some postmasters get really nasty about it, but my postmaster has been amazing. So now I have the envelope that's going to go with this card. I'm going to set this aside because I'm done with it. And I think I'm going to close the Just Jade, and I'm going to pull back, oh my gosh, if my grandmother were alive today and she heard my grammar, she would just shake her head. I'm going to use just the little flower, and I think I want to just kind of just stamp here again, maybe random, which will probably turn into a pattern, and I simply just don't care because you know what, we all have the way we do things. And I guess I better pull the black in because I think I really want it to tie in, and maybe the leaves. Oh, I don't know. And where's my black? I don't know about you guys, but I'm telling you, sometimes when I stamp, I lose everything. Oh yeah, that's cute with the, oh, we got a little carried away there. That's what I love about the clear is you can see through them. So sometimes when you make that little mistake like I just did, you can go right back over it because you can aim it. Cute. Okay, I'm going to leave it just like that. I don't want to put the green on the inside. I just want it to mimic it. I'm going to leave that open for a sec because, oh yeah, we got us another envelope. And again, I think it's fun to have everything match. But this time, instead of doing the front, I think I'm going to do the back of my envelope. And let's make it at least an odd number. Let's go ahead and close this up. And let's get the black again. And I'm going to, and I think I will add the green to the back of this, just because I can. Oh, and I'm going to smear black. Just pretend like you didn't see that, and we'll blame the mailman. Sure, it was the mailman's fault. Oh boy. I actually really like my mail lady. She is amazing. I wouldn't blame her for anything. She's awesome. And let's just go ahead and stick a random. Yeah, I'm not going to restamp that. Flip that open though so that it doesn't stamp down on my envelope. And right there. All right, and that's really all I need. And I'm going to go ahead and close that. I'm going to get all my inky stamps out of my way because there's nothing worse than having it almost finished and then ruining it. All right, I'm going to pull this card back in. Well, both cards actually. So I've got this card. Just going to kind of finish it up. Show you how fast this all goes. So this is my inside of my card. Again, you can stamp it with a sentiment if you would like. I feel like the sentiment on the front is big and says a lot. So the inside could just be your own words, or you know, a poem or something. Sign your signature big so you don't have to write anything. Okay, I'm just gonna line that up. It lines up on 3 sides. It's cut nicely. So there's the center of my card. Then I've got that piece of Just Jade that I cut earlier. And Again, I am a big user of adhesive, and you can use whatever adhesive you want. I chose that today because it was sitting on my desk. And I am going to just line that right up across the center there. Could have cut that smaller and done a horizontal, but I was doing this on the fly, and the fly it is. And I feel like this can easily be a masculine card, or, you know, for a real polka dot lover, and this is why we use our adhesive silicone mat. I'm going to put this about right there. Okay, card 1. And same thing on this one. I may mount it a little differently. Oh, you know what? I'm going to mount this in sideways. I can do what I want. So, just put this on here. Line it up on the 3 sides. And I haven't mounted that on the inside yet. I'm going to put that right in the center there. This one, I think, let's see. Yep, I'm going to do it just like that. I'm going to mount this on the inside. Again, I know some of you that are careful with your adhesive are just going, oh my gosh, lady, why so much adhesive? Because that's the way I like to do it. And I say there are no wrong ways. We do what works the best for us. Got that all mounted on the inside. So you see how we've got that. I'm going to flip that over. And because all of our stuff color coordinates, everything just goes so well together. And what are we at here? I was going to look at my time because I don't know for sure how long I've been going. Oh, 26 minutes. That's not bad. All right. And I am just going to set that down there. And there we have it. 2 very quick cards using, oh, that's a little crooked. Well, you know what? I'm going to show you just a little trick right now because I got that crooked and I'm not happy that it's crooked. So it's a perfect teaching opportunity. I'm going to grab my heat gun here. Hang on. Hope you can hear me. I had to get up and move because it's across the room. But I'm going to grab my heat gun because I'm going to show you what I did. And I'm going to show you a quick little hack on how to fix it. So as you can see here, I'm going to get out my take your pick tool, and it has a spatula on one end here. I'm going to show you what I did so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see how that's just, you see that? It's just a little bit crooked. Just a little bit crooked. So, got my heat gun. I'm going to drag it across here and try not to make a mess. I'm going to turn it on low for just a second. Let it heat up. And maybe I'll do high. And I should be able to lift this off and not tear my card. How is that? And it's still sticky. So I'm going to come back in and line it up straight. Pardon my head. There we go. All right, and now it's straight. So you just got to learn a little hack when you make a mistake. So here is, now everything's all piled up being a mess. So here is this card. And here's this card. And we actually did the envelope on the back. 2 cards in 30 minutes and a fun little lesson on how to fix your mistake. 3 inks, basically one card color, I mean, yeah, we've got a little couple of pieces of cardstock, but overall, minimal supplies for 2 great cards. And I really do feel like this could easily be for masculine and this could be feminine. So I'm going to hop off here now just because I just had that little fun idea. And I hope that you all have a great, what's today? Wednesday. It's garbage day. Wednesday. So I hope you guys all just have a really great day. And I hope that this was just a fun little tip for all of you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.